I got into an exclusive Las Vegas party for the most influential credit managers in America to infiltrate the fraternal order behind credit scores. A few weeks ago, I made a video about credit scores, and in that video, I learned about the National Association of Credit Men, who from 1896 to 1989 would decide who could have business loans in America based off of things like their race, what their neighbors thought of them, and how much they slept around. Yeah. So prior to the FICO Score, mass surveillance tactics were kind of the norm in America to determine creditworthiness. And every year, so-called credit men would meet at conventions to determine how banks should use that intel in order to distribute credit to their customers. Now, these conventions were pretty normal affairs. They would start out by singing hymns, take pilgrimages to Rockefeller sites, and then go to after parties hosted by their fraternal society called the Royal Order of Zebras. You know, totally normal businessman stuff. Okay, so this was weird as and after I made that video, I wanted to know more. What on earth was the Royal Order of Zebras? Why did credit men have a fraternal order? Does it still exist? And if so, can I go to one of these parties? My search for the Zebras had very few leads. There's no Wikipedia page and no articles about this group, just traces of their existence. A news clipping here, an obituary of an old white guy there, and the occasional mention on LinkedIn. I had nothing. Nothing other than proof that they would sponsor parties for finance bros. If I wanted to learn more, I would have to dig deeper. I would need to go to the source. So NACM still exists today, but instead of being the National Association of Credit Men, it is now the National Association of Credit Management. Very inclusive of them. And if you want to join NACM, you first have to talk to a regional representative. Now, a little bit of context about me. I am an economist by training who teaches classes at a university about the job market. And I may have leveraged that fact in order to reach out to NACM and get information from them. Now listen, I did not lie. I am an economist and I am doing a project about fraternal orders and finance that controlled the evolution of credit scores. Okay, that is true. The fact that I was personally doing this for a YouTube video was not relevant information. Morals aside, and much to my surprise, my contact actually had intel about the Royal Order of Zebras that they were willing to share with me. The president of NACM is looking into this and will get back to you with more information. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just put the recording equipment away and got another response. Your email was forwarded to me. I have run across this group in our historical docs, and I believe you found the right place. Yes! Okay, I'll try to pull some stuff on them this week. Okay, I think we're in. By the end of this week, I will finally have my hands on the secrets of the Zebras. Or so I thought. 2 weeks went by and nothing. Radio silence. I eventually followed up, but a week later and still nothing from NACM. I was getting ghosted. My best lead had fizzled to dust, and I was left with almost nothing that could help me uncover the truth about this group. Almost nothing, except the one thing I know for sure about the Zebras is that they hosted drinking parties at an annual convention called Credit Congress. A convention that, as it so happens, still exists. A convention that still has drinking parties for only the most influential and connected credit practitioners in America. A convention that is happening in 2 days. If I'm gonna learn about the Zebras and about the organizations that regulate credit in America, then Credit Congress is my best bet. Now, registering for Credit Congress would run me a cool $1,200, but I'm an educator, so I don't have that kind of money. But what I do have is the power of Photoshop on my side and questionable morals. And while I'm sure these speakers are lovely, I'm only interested in the drinking parties. Okay, first order of business, I need to get a pass. I was looking at the Credit Congress hashtag on LinkedIn, and I saw a few different videos with their passes on full display, so I'm just gonna copy those. I have a black lanyard already from work conferences that I do, but I am worried about the QR code. So I think what I'm gonna do is dip my pass in coffee, and then whenever they go to scan it, I'm just gonna say, oh, sorry, I spilled coffee on myself, that's why it doesn't work. That has to work. If it doesn't work, I have wasted a lot of time and money coming down here, so wish me luck. Heading to Caesar's Palace, I have two goals. One, get past security and into the conference center, and two, find anything lying around for people attending the convention. A conference lanyard, a bag, anything really. My plan is just to pretend like I belong there, but it will be a heck of a lot easier to do that if I look the part too. Getting into the conference center was shockingly easy. I just showed up during lunch, so security wasn't scanning badges, and no one really questioned what a random white dude in a suit was doing at a credit convention, so I was feeling pretty confident. Maybe a little too confident. I walked around after a session and found a program guide that was left behind. But when I saw the back page, my heart sank. You needed an additional ticket to get into the drinking party. A ticket I did not have, and one I couldn't even copy in Photoshop because I didn't know what it looked like. I was about to take some free sparkling water and just accept defeat when I realized I had one final Hail Mary. Hi, I lost my lanyard and the ticket for tonight's party. Yeah, I was wondering if I could just pay the fee to replace it. Okay, no, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so here is the situation that we have found ourselves in. So I was getting really worried about all of the stuff about how you need a ticket to get in and about how there's gonna be security. So as something of a last Hail Mary, I decided to go to customer service and basically say that I had lost my pass and lanyard and that I wanted to pay for a new one. And lo and behold, that worked. $200 later, and I finally have a formal conference lanyard and a pass to get into tonight's party. I was in, baby! Bonafide conference lanyard and party ticket in hand, and I was finally free to attend one of these exclusive parties for credit managers. But did I learn anything about the Royal Order of Zebras? Yes, I did. At the party, I was sat with some amazing people who turned out to be regional directors for the NACM, and I decided to be extremely honest about what I was up to. And instead of getting angry or throwing me out, they actually found it pretty hilarious, and they were more than willing to talk with me about the group's history. Probably because I did technically pay to be there. But yeah, they were totally willing to talk about fraternal orders and drinking parties that have historically been put on for credit managers. One of them even pulled up an invoice from the 90s where they showed that the Fraternal Order of Zebras had destroyed a venue during one of their drinking parties, and that the NACM had been invoiced like hundreds of thousands of dollars for that damage. Like, it was pretty cool. I had an amazing time down in Las Vegas, and I'm extremely grateful to the members of the National Association of Credit Management for being so welcoming, being so kind to me, and being so willing to talk to me about the questions that I had. And if there is one thing overall that I have learned from this trip, it's that credit managers like to party.